easyJet Group delivering parcels. Can it fly? Keep watching to find out more.
Last Mile Profits is brought to you by Parcel Pending by Quadient.
So, Gary, this is quite a new one. Easy deliveries. I've seen Easy Pack for parcels, but Easy Deliveries is actually part of the Easy family of brands, Easy being easyJet. And I gather you've been testing this out.
Well, I was doing a bit of research for something else online and came across it on the launch day, actually, on the 11th of June was the first day this was available. And it seemed quite exciting. Joining up our favorite things, 350,000 Pudo and locker points across the whole of Europe. And you've often talked about this kind of dream scenario where you can pop something in a locker in Poland or the UK, and then, hopefully in a fairly short period of time later, and for not an exorbitant cost, pick it up from another locker somewhere else. So I thought, oh my God, somebody's actually done it. So I was actually quite excited. And then attached to the Easy family of brands, it seemed like a good idea to me.
The devil, of course, as usual, Gary, is in the detail.
Yeah. So I mean, in the way of things, I thought, well, what you do is you test it out for what's relevant to you, right? So as you know, I live in Portugal. From time to time, I need to get stuff back to the UK, and I thought, well, let's just see where my nearest pickup point is, and Portugal is one of the launch countries, along with a load of others. Obviously, UK is a launch country, so I put in my postcode in Portugal, my postcode in the UK, and it just came back with this route is not available. So, I was a little bit disappointed and frustrated, to be honest.
Well, that's actually, Gary, one of the worst things you can do, isn't it? To go and promote something and then promote something that's actually not really there. But let's take a step back because I'm trying to think, how this works. I guess this is a bit like any other broker-based service whereby effectively somebody, and the question for me, Gary, is who is the somebody? Is it EasyJet family or whatever who's created the software, or have they just tapped into someone else's software and are using their brand to promote it? Because you've got several large brokers or consolidators who will have this capability. You've got Nova Posta, who have I'm not sure if they have the same, maybe even more points available today. So can you really imagine the Easy Group developing the software from scratch?
No, because I don't think there's any point really. This, as you say, this is a fairly mature market. If I was suspicious of who it might be, it's gonna be somebody like, Parcels to Go, because this was a broker type, setup where, you put in the 2 points, and effectively what it's gonna do is rate shop in the background. So, it will go and look at, what are my options from getting from Portugal to the UK or from Poland to Spain or whatever it is. So it could be, a completely third party, like another posture, but it's more likely to be it'll be CTT or, UPS or somebody that operates here, and then Every or, Impost or somebody like that that operates in the UK and then brokering the parcel from one end to the other. And I think because of why would Easy be attracted to it? Because it lends itself to that kind of money saving, cost saving engine that they are kind of well known for.
So I guess we're both aligned, Gary, that actually this is probably more about them having found a partner who can make it happen and they're using their brand. But I'm not even sure. In fact, I'm almost sure that EasyJet planes are not really involved in any big way, if at all, in this.
No, absolutely not. In the same way that, it's Easy Hotels, they don't own a single hotel. I think they launched Easy Cruises as well. I I'm quite frightened by the thought of going on an EasyJet cruise. I mean, where do you sleep? Do you actually get a room? Has it got a window? Do you pay it? It's a million questions to come up in the sort of budget cruising space. I'm wondering if it's a bit like if the EasyJet Easy parcel service would be a bit like Ryanair, where your parcel doesn't actually go to your house, it just goes somewhere about 400 meters away.
So, Gary, we're going to be talking in one of our next videos about something that Impost has done with suitcases in lockers. Do you think, in any way at all, this is a sort of response to that, or do you think it's just something they were planning, and as an additional way for Easy Group to make a few pennies?
I don't think it's related to it because I think the two things have been done in parallel. I'd love to have sat in the meeting where somebody brought this up and they thought it was a good idea and whether this brand extension would actually work. I don't know if you've seen on LinkedIn. There's been a whole thing about Colgate launching frozen food. They launched like frozen lasagna under the Colgate brand. Now, Colgate to me for 60 years has been toothpaste. I really don't want my frozen meals to taste of toothpaste. So I'm very unlikely to buy a Colgate branded lasagna.
Yeah, well, look, let's see how this plays out. If anyone has had either more successful experience than Gary and they were able to send something, or a bad experience, it'll be really interesting. And perhaps somebody knows who is the power behind all this, because I believe Gary and I are in agreement that it's not Easy Group that's doing the technology, or actually the operations, which we know. So, Gary, let's see. And I'm looking forward to talking about sort of a separate aspect to this, which is this in-post suitcase project, which we'll cover in a later episode.
Thank you for watching this Last Mile Profits video.